For many organizations in China, this summer, large ice cubes are a life-saving item. The summer of 2022 in China has been so hot that it has caused many rivers to dry up, and the threat of a major power outage is looming, as it did last year. Even though a heat wave is hitting the world this time of year, Red China somehow seems to be experiencing even more severe heat. It's hard to tell from the official Chinese data, as Chinese netizens have found that official weather forecasts always limit the temperature to below 40 degrees Celsius. Internet users in Shanghai found that the app on their Apple iPhones showed that the highest temperature in Shanghai on August 5th, for example, had reached 50 degrees Celsius, with the city's Putuo district at 52 degrees Celsius and Jing'an district at 47 degrees Celsius. Some netizens also found that the temperature measuring device in their cars also showed that the outdoor temperature was as high as 45 degrees Celsius or 53 degrees Celsius. But the highest temperature in the official weather forecast usually stops at 39 degrees Celsius. It's like a steamer. It was really hot. Generally, if you have nothing to do, it is best to stay at home with air conditioning. Even if you don't walk when you are outside, you could still sweat.
This year in Shanghai, I found that the hot days are really long and the temperatures are especially high. Yesterday, because my job is at the container port, I went to our port to walk around. It was just an hour. My clothes and pants were all wet. Compared to years before, the temperature this year is particularly high.
It's 2:30 p.m. I'll check the surface temperature in Hangzhou. 54 degrees Celsius, my goodness. Air temperature, 40.1 degrees Celsius. Grass temperature, 40 degrees Celsius. Wall temperature, 38.3 degrees Celsius. Stone temperature, 57.5 degrees Celsius. The surface temperature is almost 60 degrees Celsius. It's too hot. Only a few cities, such as Chongqing in Sichuan province and Nanjing in Jiangsu province, have reported 44 degrees Celsius and 50 degrees Celsius, respectively. There is a possibility that these cities are even hotter and cannot be covered up by 39 degrees Celsius anymore. The actual temperature must be even higher than what is reported. It's so hot that the power poles are smoking. Not only are the power poles smoking, but the trees are heating up and smoking too. In Nanjing, people measured the temperature on the road to be 72 degrees Celsius. Pedestrians in many cities found themselves walking down the street with their shoes stuck. Wow, what's going on? Look, shoes are stuck and cracked. A citizen tried to cook roast beef on the pavement, and he succeeded. The weather is too hot and things are easy to catch fire. On August 8th, the Yangtze River bridge in Nanjing caught fire. On August 6th, a wooden bridge in Fujian province also burst into flames and burned to the ground. This nearly 100-meter bridge, built more than 1,000 years ago during the Song dynasty, was the longest surviving wooden arch bridge in China. It's such a shame. Since we can't get real data, we will use the official data to get a glimpse. The China Meteorological Observatory announced that on August 17th, 5 provinces or municipalities in China had the highest temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius, and about 11 provinces had the highest temperatures between 35 and 39 degrees Celsius. Even according to official Chinese data, the summer heat in 2022 will be a record. First, the area covered by alleged high temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius is already more than 1.09 million square kilometers, more than 10% of China's landmass. Secondly, the duration of the heat wave has been 65 days as of August 17th, exceeding the record of 62 days in 2013. The number of heat records broken by cities has reached 226, the most in history. Watch, this bridge snapped because it was so hot. In many cities, roads are swelling up because it's too hot. A museum in Chongqing had the roof crumble under the high temperature. A Chinese media report said, "I didn't know temperatures could compete at this internal level." That is, inside China, many places have either record-breaking temperatures or will soon be breaking records. People in one county in Sichuan province ran to ancient tomb sites to shelter from the high temperatures because it was so hot, and some even set up tents there. In Hebei province, what troubles the supermarket staff is that the local seniors have simply chosen to use the shelves to sleep or sit and chat, not caring about others. They think it's wasteful to turn on the air conditioner at home, and the ones at the supermarket are free to enjoy. The staff could not convince this crowd to leave. In China's annual flood season, there's an unexpected dry period due to high temperatures. China's Ministry of Water Resources Information Center predicts that from August 16th to the 21st, the country's rainfall will fall mainly in the northwest and central part of China. For example, there are heavy rains in the Yellow River, Haihe River, and Songhua River basins, and some rivers may experience super warning floods. However, the water level in the middle and lower reaches of Yangtze River and Dongting Lake, Poyang Lake, and Taihu Lake in the south will remain low, and the drought in the Yangtze River basin is developing rapidly and continues to develop. Due to the high temperature and no rainfall, the water level of the Yangtze River has fallen back over the past few days. On August 16th, the Yangtze River was exposed and cracked at the Chongqing section. An island in the Chongqing section, which has been submerged in the river for many years, has been exposed. This island reef has 3 niches of cliff statues at the highest part of the reef. The largest niche in the middle is a round arched niche, 1.4 meters high, 1.05 meters wide, and 0.4 meters deep. It is tentatively determined that the cliff statue was built during the Ming and Qing dynasties nearly 600 years ago. During the same period, the Yangtze River also exposed large stretches of sandy beaches in Wuhan and Nanjing. On August 15th, the Sichuan provincial government asked all industrial power users in the province's 19 cities to stop production from August 15th to August 20th to ensure that residents have electricity. Foxconn Chengdu, for example, has restricted electricity from August 15th to the 20th, retaining only 20% of the electricity security load. The Foxconn Chengdu plant also manufactures and assembles Apple wearable devices, etc. According to China's official media, The 21st Century Business Herald, Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan province, has not only suspended the opening of central air conditioning in several office buildings since August 17th, advocating employees to work from home, but also disconnected the power supply of some office buildings due to the tight power load caused by high temperatures. Chengdu subway stations also shut down some advertising light boxes and some lighting, and some public areas of shopping malls also lost power. The impact will not be limited to the industrial use of electricity. On the afternoon of August 16th, an electric power group in Sichuan issued a warning that if all measures were taken and it still could not relieve the pressure on the power supply, it will limit power to residents, with each line scheduled to last for about 2.5 hours. The impact of this restriction on power is very significant. This is because Sichuan is a major production province for modern technology industries in China, with many large factories there, including Foxconn and Pegatron. Sichuan is also one of the main silicon production areas in China, and a major town in the photovoltaic manufacturing industry. In addition, Toyota also has a plant in Chengdu. As of the time of our report, Sichuan province is under power restriction for 6 days, but it is likely that the restriction will be extended. Why is Sichuan the first to experience a major power outage? Because the high temperatures have not only increased demand, but as a direct result, 50% of the major rivers in Sichuan have dried up, affecting the capacity of hydropower stations. Official Chinese data shows that in 2021, hydroelectric power generation will account for nearly 60% of all power generation in China's southwest region, nearly 19% in central China, and a relatively small percentage of less than 6% in the north. The south is now generally too dry, thus rivers have entered a dry period, which is abnormal at this time of year. In addition to Sichuan, Wuhan, Chongqing, Anhui, Jiangsu, Zhejiang, and other parts of the country have implemented similar power outages. This is a chicken coop in Jiangsu province. 10,000 chickens died from the heat due to a sudden power outage at night, and the farmer lost more than $100,000 overnight. In the second half of 2021, the blackout spread to at least 20 provinces across half of China. At the time, we reported that it was highly likely that power shortages would become the norm in China. In the last 2 to 3 years, a series of problems have erupted in China, including the irreconcilable conflict between the low price of electricity and the high cost of coal used in power plants under a planned economy, the high temperature, the cold, the shortage of coal or the price spike, and other factors. All of these will lead to power shortages.